All right, what's up, guys? So UFC Volkov versus Rozenstruik is this weekend, and we're here to break down the fights and make our predictions and bets for this weekend. So we're gonna start off with the main event. We have Alexander Volkov versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. What do you guys think about this fight?
This is an easy bet. Volkov wins any way he wants, which is by peppering Jairzinho from the outside and then using his long reach to fight him, or he gets him in the clinch and then he just, does whatever he wants. Honestly, Jairzinho, he has one punch knockout power, but he throws like three punches around. And like if he doesn't knock you out with the two punches he throws around, he's not getting anywhere. I think that Jairzinho is good with his timing, but I think Volkov is just better here. He's Jairzinho is like Derek Lewis, and I think Alexander Volkov has learned his lesson. He's also a lot bigger now, so he wins easy.
I don't think so. I I made the mistake of betting on Volkov in his last fight, and I think I kind of learned my lesson. The more I mean, Volkov beats the people who aren't very good, but then when he ends up fighting people who are like actually at the top of the division, he kind of gets his ass whooped. Um, but I just don't know where Jorginho is yet. I don't. Because I mean he lost to Curtis. He lost to fucking Francis, and he lost to Cyril. Um, I don't really hold any of those. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's a close fight. I don't think Volkov wins easy. I think Jorginho could definitely catch him, especially in a 5 rounder. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
Jorginho's a little like the fact that he's so. What's the word I'm looking for? The fact that he's a kickboxer who doesn't like actually like use output is concerning to me. But like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't want to put money on Volkov. I really don't.
I like Volkov here. I mean, I bet against Volkov's last fight, but I'm gonna back him in this fight. I think we kind of touched on it. Like, Rozenstruik's volume is really concerning. And if you think about it, it's really like, against guys that it's hard for him to find a target. Like against Cyril Gahn, like pretty much just like shut down. Like he was totally unable to do anything. Um, and then even against they both fought Overeem, and Overeem was on his way to winning that fight against Rozenstruik, and then Rozenstruik found the punch to end the fight like at the fifth round, like right at the end, and so he ended up winning that fight. But then like Volkov like pretty much just destroyed Overeem. Like Volkov
Mhm.
made Overeem look like he didn't belong in there with him. And Volkov also did better relatively against Cyril Gahn than Rozenstruik. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I like Volkov here. I think he's gonna use his length, stick to the outside, and probably just pepper him to a 5 round decision. And yeah, Rozenstruik's gonna throw like 10 strikes around, and
yeah,
maybe one of them lands and connects and knocks him out. But I'm gonna back Volkov.
yeah. I just think Rosenstruck, if we look at his record here, I mean, even again, he was getting pieced up by Curtis Blades on the feet. Curtis Blades is,
Well, Curtis Blade's striking is actually pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, Gunfight is a good striker.
I mean, Curtis Blades, he couldn't strike with Volkov. He had to take him down, but that's mixed martial arts, right? So I think that Kurt, what's his face? Volkov is definitely a really good striker. He's a better striker than Jairzinho. Jairzinho just really has power, and that's all I can really say about him. I think the fact you say or at least Dermer says that he's not that good. He lost to Curtis Blades, Cyril Gahn, Tom Aspinall, and Derek Lewis, and he was defeating Derek Lewis. Tom Aspinall might be a future world champion in this division. Like he's that good. He has his striking, he has his grappling there. He's going to prove it against Curtis Blades soon. That's an early prediction for all of you. So yeah, I think Tom Aspinall is really good. I don't see why we
I don't
should.
think I don't think Volkov's not that good. I just think him and Jorginho are kind of in the same category where it's like they lose to the guys who are like at the top of the division. And then I don't know. I think it's a lot closer of a matchup than you make it out to be. The only thing that concerns me is Jorginho doesn't seem to use his volume. But I think the Cyril Gahn fight is a terrible reference. Not a terrible, but a pretty bad one because Volkov's movement is like not even comparable to Cyril's. Cyril has the best movement of any heavyweight ever in combat sports. So
Jairzinho got shut down. Volkov at least made it semi-competitive.
It wasn't. Cyril won every minute of that fight.
You need to rewatch the fight because it was semi-competitive. Like I
I thought
know he
Volkov won that first round. I thought
What's up?
Volkov won the first round against Zero.
Yeah, and like he definitely lost the fight, but it wasn't like he was like Jairzinho just getting his stomach hit, and Jairzinho did nothing in that fight.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
thought
nothing.
Volkov was touching Gon at times.
Volkov was touching Gon with like leg kicks, and that was it.
No, he did like a leg kick to a hook combination that worked.
But yeah.
It should
All
be
right.
still one good.
Let's move
Yeah.
on. So yeah,
half of Volkov's strikes were to the legs. So
I just watched the fight instead of looking up UFC stats.
I watched the fight live with us, and you guys were. I was like, Cyril is winning this fight like completely clearly. It's not even close. Like Volkov was touching him with like leg kicks, but he didn't put a single shot in him that Cyril felt.
Still better than Rozenstruik's performance. Danny Gay.
yeah. All right. Let's move. So yeah, let's move on. So we have Dan Ige versus Movsar Evloev. Um, so I really like Movsar here. I think Dan Ige's grappling is very suspect. If you look at his record, like the Korean Zombie was able to take him down and control him for a big portion of that fight, and you know, like Movsar is amongst the elite grapplers in his division. Definitely much better than Korean Zombie. So I just don't see it, man. I think Movsar can be able to take him down at will and probably grapple fuck him to a unanimous decision victory. Is my prediction for this fight. What do you guys think?
I was gonna say I have nothing to add. I think Mobstar by WrestleFuck, and then submission or decision or ground and pound. However it winds up, Mobstar is gonna get on top of him and ride it out.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. The only way you could really see that Dan Ige wins this is because Mobster's been dropped before. So if Dan Ige, who isn't known for his, one knockout power against elite competition, somehow catches Mobstar, that's really the only way he wins. Mobstar's pretty good on the feet, and he could just wrestle fuck him. So he's a pretty heavy favorite. Is he like minus 500 or
Yeah,
something
it's pretty
crazy?
heavy. Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah,
only thing that concerns me about Mavsar is we kind of saw in the last fight against Hakeem Dawodu.
that,
I mean, he was
yeah.
dominating that fight, right? Like the first two rounds. I think the second round was a 10-8, but then he basically totally gassed out in round three, and Dawodu was pretty much putting it on him, and Mavsar had to survive that round to win the decision. So if Danny Gay wins, it's probably like he survives the first two rounds and then puts it on Mavsar and finishes him in third. That's yeah, that's the only way I really see Dan Ige winning.
That's fair. He has great cardio.
Yeah. So yeah, it might be sketchy, but if Mavsar could survive that third round, I think he'll win pretty easily because I think he'll definitely win the first two. All right. So third fight on the card, we have Mike Trizano versus Lucas Almeida. So actually, honestly I didn't really do much research on this one. There's not a lot of tape out on Lucas Almeida. I mean, he fought in the Contender Series, but I don't have access to that. And this is his UFC debut. But I think Mike Trizano is a pretty good UFC fighter. He has pretty solid striking. Lost to Akeem Dawodu and Grant Dawson, but I think those two are. So Hakeem Dawodu is definitely ranked in the featherweight division, and then Grant Dawson. I think he's in lightweight now, but I think he's moving his way to like the rankings in lightweight. So two like pretty solid fighters. So like no shame in losing to those guys, and then he beats everybody else. His striking is pretty good, but I don't know. Yeah, this one's hard for me to really pick a winner just because like I don't really know how good this Lucas Almeida dude is.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do like about this fight is the over. I think it's gonna go to decision. Because if you look at so Mike Trizano for sure doesn't have that much power and he doesn't have that much activity or volume. So I don't really see Mike Trizano finishing Lucas Almeida. And then Lucas Almeida, I mean, he has a ton of finishes on his record, but whenever he goes against like higher level competition, they generally go later in the rounds. So like his Contender Series fight went to a decision, and then he has a round 5 knockout, I guess. He has a round 3 flying knee. So it seems like against solid competition that he goes later. So I'm just gonna trust that. This fight goes later. I mean, Trizano's a pretty solid fighter, so I don't think he's gonna be able to finish, or I don't think Almeida's gonna be able to finish him early in the rounds. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say this fight ends in a decision. Is how I would play this fight.
Nice. I have nothing to add. I don't know who Lucas Almeida is.
I barely know who he is, to be honest.
Maybe we'll know him after this. But we'll see.
All right. What fight are we moving to now?
Well, O'Day, Alonso, we have them. We're just moving to Felice Herrig versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. This one's gonna be quick. These two people are over the hill. I think I heard this fight described as a Bellator fight because they're both on like 3 or 4 fight losing streaks. And now they're fighting each other when they probably should have been cut at some point, you know? Especially Karolina Kowalkiewicz. So basically, what this comes down to is who do you think is more over the hill here? Karolina did beat Felice Herrig pretty clearly in their last fight here. And she's the underdog here. My only concern is that Karolina just hasn't looked like herself at all, like mentally. And against Jessica Pena, oh man, she went to the ground with her purpose when she was winning on the feet there. In her Zhao Nan fight, she got destroyed, but she put up an okay performance, I guess. That's all I can really say. But I think Andrade changed her when she knocked her out at that point. And she's been on a mentally lost streak ever since here. Felice Herrig, the only reason I'm going against her is because she got taken down really easily by Verena Jandiroba. And that's literally it. Karolina has okay wrestling. So, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, probably by decision. Or if you're going to go against her, I could see her quitting and getting finished.
This is I mean, I think this is a very tough fight to pick. I mean, Karolina, I think she's lost 5 in a row. Herrig, she's lost 3 in a row and hasn't won, and she's like really inactive. She hasn't won in a very long time. Now these girls have. So I mean, this is women's MMA. I don't really know how to pick this one. But what I do like about this fight is I like the over rounds, and I would just bet it going to the decision. Let me see what the
I think FanDuel is minus 330 for it to go to decision.
Okay, on DraftKings it's minus 285 to go to decision. I think I like that a lot. I mean, these are 2 primary strikers in the women's strawweight division. So yeah.
Oh
basically,
Lord.
the only way this fight gets finished, in my opinion, is I think Felice Herrig has, she has takedowns, and I guess she has some submission wins. So, and Karolina got submitted in her last fight, but I think Jessica Pena is like a pretty good ground fighter. She has a black belt, whereas Felice Herrig has a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I don't know. I think if she gets taken down, I think Karolina will be able to survive, and otherwise they're just going to be throwing pillows at each other. So yeah, this fight's going to decision.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with Josh on this one. I feel like picking a winner for this is like flipping a fucking coin. So if you do feel like betting on this fight, I think either the over or it to go to decision is the right way to go.
Yeah.
All right, Blanchfield.
Erin Blanchfield. So why is this the first fight? This is actually I'm actually like kind of looking forward to this fight, and this is the first fight on the card. It's kind of unbelievable. But Erin Blanchfield versus JJ Aldrich.
So let me paint the picture because I'm the biggest fan of WMMA here, obviously. JJ Aldrich is not necessarily a journeyman because she's actually still really good, but she's the person that you encounter to try to see if you're good enough to be ranked here, because she just fights everybody and she's just a really solid fighter all around here. She has decent striking, she has decent wrestling here, and that's really all you need there. And she's fought champions before. She fought Macy Barber, Courtney Casey, Vanessa Demopoulos, Jillian Robertson, which she dominated there. Courtney Casey, Sabina Mazo is definitely a blemish on her record. So is Macy Barber, but still, she's the person you have to go through in order to make a name for yourself. But with all that being said, Erin Blanchfield is somebody who I picked to be the prospect of the year, the person with the most wins this year, because her wrestling is just insane. absolutely broken. She's like strong. She could take you down necessarily at will. I just don't know if she has the cardio if somebody fights her back. And maybe JJ Aldrich is good enough to stop a few of these things. Her takedown defense is pretty good. But Blanchfield, I think, is just going to take it and win it. Her only loss is a questionable split decision to Tracy Cortez, which I think Blanchfield won. So Erin Blanchfield, she might finish her, honestly. I could see it happening, but probably by decision via WrestleFuck.
Well, Tracy Cortez is better looking, so I don't think that decision was questionable at all.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if that's true, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. Tracy Cortez is way better looking, but that's beside the point. Aaron Blanchfield, Aaron Blanchfield by WrestleFuck is the only outcome that makes sense. The line reflects that. She's a massive favorite. That makes sense because she's better. Her grappling is just way too good for JJ. I just I don't see it. There's a lot of like fights that are like minus 500-600 where you're like I just don't see it, especially with women where no one really has the touch of death. Yeah, Erin Blanchfield's kind of similar to Movsar, just get on top and ride it out.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you guys because Erin Blanchfield's last fight against Miranda Maverick, who I think is a better grappler than JJ Aldrich. Erin Blanchfield just dominated her, controlled her for pretty much the whole fight, took her down at will. It's one of the more impressive fights I've seen recently because I think going into that fight they were like even money, and Erin Blanchfield just completely molested her. So I think she's gonna do the same to JJ Aldrich. I don't think she'll be able to stop takedowns, and yeah, this is women's MMA, so like there's no way JJ could like catch Blanchfield in any way. So the only way Blanchfield loses is if
she
somehow
falls and dies.
JJ is able to stop the takedowns, which I just don't see happening. So
the only way she loses is if JJ trips and on her way falling, she kicks her in the face and knocks her out.
I don't know. JJ Aldrich, whenever she stops takedown, she usually punishes you like a little bit here. I think Erin Blanchfield will definitely win. This is her first real test in the division. I think you're just kind of underestimating JJ Aldrich in her takedown defense.
Yeah, that's her only path to victory. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't see her stopping the.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna win. I just think she deserves a little more respect on her name.
I don't think it's like a lack of respect for her. I think we just all recognize that Erin Blanchfield is going to be one of the top women in the division pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Let's move on to our bets. So let me start off. So I have Volkov by decision at plus 165. I have 3 units on that. I have Blanchfield, Evloev, and Felice, Herrig, Karolina, Kowalkiewicz go to a decision. That's all parlayed. Plus 100, even money. 4 units to win 4. I have a Blanchfield, Evloev, Trizano, Almeida fight over 2.5 rounds. That's parlayed together at plus 124. I have 3 units down on that. All right, Alex.
My turn. All right. We'll start with my main event bet because I have to 1 unit Rozenstruik money line. I think it's plus 134. If you see it better somewhere else, throw me down on that.
Unit.
Just 1. And then the 2 bets I'm actually making are bet 1 is parlay Movsar money line, Blanchfield money line, Odie Osborne money line. That's plus 115. And then my second bet is Movsar money line, Erin Blanchfield money line, and Alonzo Menifeld money line, and that is plus 122, 4.5 units each on those.
Okay.
Reasonable.
I have Volkov via decision at plus 165. All these are 2.5 units. Karolina money line, 2.5 units, plus 108. Blanchfield, Jeff Molina, check him out. He's going to be really good in this fight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Evloev at plus 113, 2.5. and Alonzo Manafield and Damon Jackson. Plus 116, 2.5.
All right. Those are our cold takes. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Peace, y'all.